conversions. This is part 7 of the library bus conversion. Thank you for sticking with us thus far. I know it's taken a little while for us to get this video out, as we've had all these groundworks done recently, and we had a few little jobs to do on bubble and NIM in the kind of interim whilst the concrete was going off. We've finished insulating and doing the vapor barrier in here. I'll just cut to a clip now of the area above my head where you can see that we've fully insulated the dome now with recycled bottle insulation and then Ecotherm in the timber frame that we built that you've seen in other videos. We've also run the plumbing for the rainfall shower head that will be in the shower, obviously, and we've created an additional timber frame running lengthways down the bus which will maintain a flat surface for the ply to be fixed to. The Ecotherm and the bottle insulation in the ceiling were kind of fighting against each other. We put so much recycled bottle insulation in there, it was almost pushing the Ecotherm back out of the ceiling. So the lengthways timber frame has meant that everything is really nice and flat. So as you can see on the ceiling now, we've got ply all the way down. It's all been secured in place with hundreds and hundreds of screws. We've beveled the edges of each piece of ply that's butting up together so that we've got somewhere to fill. So in the next couple of days we're going to be filling every single screw hole and every single join of the ceiling, which will then allow us to start lining the walls, as the last thing we want to do is have to start trying to fill in the corners when there's already walls in place. We have already cut some pieces to test fit and just to make sure everything looks straight and level, which it does, so I'm very happy with that. So yeah, once the ceiling is all filled and and sanded and everything like that, we can start fitting the walls. We'll have to do the same with the walls, bevel the edges of each sheet that butts up together so there's somewhere to fill, and that will then allow us to get started with painting. The whole ceiling will be white with a glow around the edges, as will the walls, but obviously we'll break it all up with lots of colour in the kitchen units and furniture and things like that. We've also cut the walls for the shower. They're just not there at the moment because they'll be in the way. We've got to paint the back of the piece of timber that goes against that metal frame there, just to seal it really, just to avoid any kind of mould building up on it or anything like that because of any change of temperature where the sliding door opens and closes, which is probably the weakest point of the whole bus if you keep the sliding door, but I personally think it's a great feature to have the air sliding door. We've also obviously routed round all of the openings on the ceiling so that we can create a reveal. So it'll be one big consistent white ceiling with this lovely reveal up to where the skylights and roof fans are. The roof fans have actually got their own reveal which fits in with them, so we'll be making a kind of very thin frame around all the openings which will marry up with the reveal in the ceiling. As you can see, obviously we've fully vapor buried everything, and if you look back at the clip earlier, obviously you'll see the whole ceiling is done exactly the same way. The extra timber structure is over the top of the vapor barrier, whereas the kind of green batten is behind it. We've also fitted a Fiamma S45S awning. So it's a 4.5 metre awning, comes out about 2 metres, so it's kind of big enough you could fit a car under it almost. It's massive. Be a really good sort of shaded area they can have if they want to. There's Bear doing the guard dog thing, probably quite bored. We've also sealed around the gutter at the front here because it was causing water to get in, which is why there was rust underneath the above the doors. And we've resealed the lights as well, so we took them off, took them apart, refitted them, resealed them, put some new fixings in as well. This corner was the worst. It's let loads of water in, so it's caused rust on the outside and on the inside, but we've sorted that all out now, and it's obviously all insulated on the inside, so this will get painted, resealed where the little grooves are, where you can probably just about see there's some old sealant in there, so that'll get resealed, painted, and hopefully be as good as new or better than new and last for a long time. It's a bit of a shame really, because they put all this work into building these library buses, and there's just areas where they've obviously cut corners, and it's nothing against the bodybuilder or coach builder, whatever you want to call them. It's just strange that they've gone to all the effort of doing some things really, really carefully, and then they've left parts of metal unpainted, so no primer, nothing to protect it from rust. And yeah, just lots of little weird things, like the gutter, for example. They could have sealed that up properly and they would never have got any water in, but it just seems like they've done it in a rush. I mean, on the inside of the dome, where the bottom edge of the dome meets the original cab, there's like a big lump of sealant in there, but it's not been smoothed in, so it's not been pushed into any of the little cracks, or there's probably air pockets in there, so it's lifted, and that's why water's managed to find its way in, because it's not been done, for the sake of an extra couple of minutes. It could have been done so much more carefully, and it's a real shame, because other areas of the bus they've done really, really well. So yeah, very strange. Ours has got some of its own little quirks as well that this one doesn't, and vice versa. So it'll be interesting to see when we do the next library bus, which is a 2010, what little things are wrong with that one. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the storage boxes on this one are totally rusted through. It's a year newer than ours, whereas the ones on our bus aren't totally rusted through. I mean, the battery storage compartment that was under the floor here was like Swiss cheese, whereas our one, we managed to clean it up and we primered and painted it, and it's now underfloor storage for us. Conveniently, the layout in here, it doesn't matter, because you wouldn't have been able to get to it anyway, but it's just very strange that there's certain parts which have rusted beyond belief, whereas they haven't on ours, yet the body on this one was totally intact, whereas ours had all sorts of water ingress, so which is why I had to cut the whole body off and rebuild it with stubwork and aluminium panels. So it's very strange. It's amazing what the weather in the UK will do to vehicles, depending where they're parked or where they're driven. It's really mad. But yeah, it's a shame, because these as a whole are a fantastic platform to build a home in, and yeah, I feel really privileged to be doing a second one. So hopefully we do get to do the third one. I'm currently in talks with the owners, so it'd be interesting to see if they decide to go ahead or not. Yeah, it's hard to get your head around the amount of work that goes into one of these, so sometimes I think it's a bit kind of odd to people how much it would potentially cost to do something like this, but to do it properly and to do it not properly is very different. So yeah, we're going to make sure this one is absolutely mind-blowing, and the new owners will get years and years of use out of it, so it'll be a really cool home on wheels for them. What else was I going to say? Not much. So thank you for tuning in. If you are looking for a van conversion, please give us a call. I'd love to talk to you about it. We really love what we do and really pride ourselves in building something special for every single person. We aren't in the business of buying vans, kitting them out and trying to get rid of them quickly and selling them for more than they're worth. We like to make everything perfect, and yeah, I want to make sure that every single one of them is special in its own right, is fully kitted out beyond belief, but still beautiful. And it's kind of mad to think about where I was on my own 3.5 years ago when I started Van House Conversions to where we are now. The workshop is day and night different. We've got twice as much space. We've had all sorts of concrete laid, and yeah, addressed all of the kind of little silly things that were wrong with the workshop, like leaks in the roof and all sorts of stuff. It's kind of mad to really think where we're at now, and I really appreciate and value what I'm, that I'm able to do something that I really love, and I've got a good team of people around me that make that even more possible now. So yeah, it'd be great to kind of grow the YouTube channel a bit more. And yeah, I'm sorry this video took longer than I said it would, as it seems to be a recurring thing with me, but we had all this work done here and it was very hard to get the site back to normal. But yeah, we're in full steam ahead now, and yeah, expect another video on the library bus next week, where the whole thing should be ply lined, and hopefully we've started doing some decorating. The wood burner is going to get mocked up and put in as well, as we've got the insulation here that will go around the flue, so that'll be in imminently as well. And yeah, we can start building some furniture in the coming weeks as well, so it will really start to come together. At the back, we can't build the wall until we've built the bed frame and the single bed area that's going to go underneath, and also we've got lots of plumbing and stuff to do at the back and putting the water tank in and things like that. So that will all come together relatively quickly, but we've got to get the decorating of that furniture in the back there done before we put the wall in, otherwise it will just become a real nightmare to do it properly. So yeah, expect in the next sort of month or so to see it start to look like an actual living space rather than a spaceship like it does at the moment. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Sorry for that ramble, I thought I'd just share that with you. It's been quite surreal to think where we're at now. So yeah, stay tuned for the next one. Please like, share, subscribe, as all the YouTube folk seem to say, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers.